alongside Mike Delivers from his wife's, cat's, his own living room. Here's your host, Mike Bisceglia.
That's right, this is Mike Delivers, episode number 104. And I'm your host, Mike Bisceglia, and I'm coming to you from my wife's kitchen in Bloomfield, New Jersey. You can find the Mike Delivers podcast where all major podcasts are found, including Stitcher, Spotify, TuneIn, iHeart, and of course, Apple Podcasts. If you're an Apple Podcast listener, go ahead, give a 5-star rating. They're always appreciated. Leave a comment. If you leave your comment, I will sing that comment on a future episode. Shout out to the O'Brien Creative Group. They're the guys that made my awesome-looking logo. More information on them in my show notes, o'briencreativegroup.com. The Patreon page, Mike Delivers, it's still there, it's still ticking, and it's been a lot of fun. More blind food taste tests on there, bonus content podcasts from us. We talk about some of our great adventures and all the restaurants we've gone to from the Food Network shows, and of course, the podcast on there that changed the way Mike Delivers will be told moving forward. That time I crashed my wife's 2007 Toyota RAV4. I relive and tell that story on the Patreon page exclusively. And I've listened to that episode once, Jess. I refuse to listen to it more. Have you ever heard that?
No, I don't think I want to listen.
It was the hardest podcast I've ever done in the 104 plus the Patreon. By far.
Well, it was my first baby, so I think it would be really hard to listen to.
It was just hard to tell the story because you talk about the crash and like coming so close to this and that and thinking back on it. Like saying it was, doing the podcast itself was weird. But, you know, I thought it was important to do it. So if you want to hear it, head over to the Patreon page. And then if you want to just go over to Patreon, feel free to check that out and leave a donation for this podcast. All of it goes back into our food reviews, the food we buy, and everything like that. Breakfast month, Jesse, it is continuing. And this one was... I had fun with this. You know, I'm not going to lie. No eggs. No scrambled eggs. No... what are those things called that people like? Omelets? No omelets?
Ugh, that's like my favorite food.
no quiches. It was great. It was Chick-fil-A. It was chicken. It was a little biscuit. And it was tater tots. And it was everything I could have dreamed of in my breakfast.
I didn't really know that they had breakfast.
At Chick-fil-A?
Yeah.
I had known it for a while.
Have you had it?
One other time before. One other time.
What'd you get?
I don't remember. Probably a chicken biscuit kind of thing. That would be my guess. Like from way back in the day, in the Virginia days. But that would be it. Now, where we live, getting to Chick-fil-A is kind of a pain in the ass. It's not like Wendy's, McDonald's, Burger King, where there's an easier route to get to one or they're close by. Chick-fil-A, not that it's that far, but the two Chick-fil-A's are about 16, 18, 20 minutes away. So it's more of an adventure to get to one.
Yeah, I have two southern friends here that live in this area, and it's an issue for them, let's just say.
But I mean, when we were in Charlottesville, it still would have been 10, 15 minutes.
Where was it in Charlottesville?
Route 29, which for people listening that might not know what that means, 15, 20-minute drive. I still think it was far away. It was like by...
Well, all I know is there was Raising Cane's and Cookout.
No, those were fun.
Were like on 29 as well.
I think it was by... I don't know how deep you would go. I couldn't... It was farther than those two places.
I never
had
Chick-fil-A in Charlottesville.
It's been so long off the top of my head I couldn't tell you. But I want to say it's past like that Toys R Us that went out of business, but before the other places you met, or before the hibachi place we went to on a date.
Okay, that's kind of where
so like 10, 15 minutes.
Okay.
But I guess, I don't know, maybe they're closer now in Virginia.
There's a lot of chicken on that street.
It's a big chicken. Well, and I'm glad you brought up chicken, because that's the first thing I kind of want to talk to you about for a second. Chicken for breakfast. What are your thoughts on that? Just in general. You don't see like burgers for breakfast.
No.
Or you don't see grilled chicken for breakfast.
It does not feel breakfasty to me, but I do think you can throw anything on a biscuit and kind of call it breakfast.
Do you think fried... So, but like fried chicken's a breakfast thing. I mean, people get it for breakfast. At fast food places, honestly, they're all over the place.
I say, why not? I think you can have anything for breakfast.
Yes, but you don't have like for breakfast you have a sausage patty, but you don't have a burger patty. Why
I don't
not?
know.
What's the difference?
Big sausage.
Big sausage? What is this, a sexual? What are you even talking about?
It's like, big pharma, except it's big sausage.
Okay. I don't know. I don't even know what that means. How do I respond?
No, I don't know. I have no idea. Like, why are these unwritten rules?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
There's unwritten rules. Like I said, okay, you had a chicken and biscuit. How about if I said you had a grilled chicken and biscuit? They'd be like, not for breakfast. But if it's fried, oh yeah, that makes sense. What's the difference?
Well, I feel like I learned that living in Virginia, the biscuits erase the rules.
Oh,
they just love biscuits with everything as a side dish, as your breakfast, as your lunch. They like them dry, like this, which is kind of interesting, I guess.
Well, the sauces were on the side for that. You have to create your own dip.
I don't know. Maybe it's because biscuits are really rich. I mean, a good biscuit is the greatest thing in the world to me.
The best.
It is
good biscuit.
So good.
Okay, a good biscuit beats a good pancake and waffle any day.
Hell yeah! Best biscuit I ever had. Do you know what I'm going to say?
Yeah.
What am I going to say?
You're going to say the place in Charlottesville that I forget the name of.
Bluegrass Grill.
That's the one.
In Charlottesville. The wait is so fucking long
you can
there.
Say
the wait is so fucking long there. The last time I went,
proud.
I went with a bunch of girlfriends on a bachelorette party, and it was a 2.5 hour wait.
I don't know. I just said in my head, bachelorette time. What did you girls weekend? Biscuits. All biscuits all the time for these girls.
We need to sop up all the wine we had the previous day.
Yeah. No, that's a great place.
So good. We did a bunch of half marathons back in the day, and oh man, these biscuits were the size of your head. And that was a place you genuinely loved the breakfast.
Yeah, because that was the first place I got introduced to tofu scrambles.
Tofu scramble.
I love a good tofu scramble. To me, that's the best breakfast because it's, what's the word? Proteinaceous. Is that a word? Mm-hmm. Proteinaceous. Sounds like a dinosaur.
No, it sounds like an era.
And, right, it sounds like
the Jurassic period, the Mesozoic period,
the Proteinaceous period. Where Mike enjoyed the tofu, but I like that. I like tofu scramble with peppers, onions, and potatoes.
Yes, and then you get the biscuit on the side with that.
I was like, I get breakfast. I like breakfast now. People love breakfast. Let's be fair, we've been nice to me on this. We've got one more episode of Breakfast Month left. We kind of have to treat me like shit. I
don't know. I'm 38 plus weeks pregnant. I'm just kind of let's just keep it positive at this point. I don't give a shit.
Next month is breast milk month on the Mike Delivers podcast. I give it a 9. It was a little cold.
A little warm.
Great takeout presentation. I give that a 10.
The presentation hopefully is going to be a 10.
Yeah. No, trust me, I know. I don't want this podcast to continue. Heat factor. No, we won't do boob milk. That'll be weird.
Yeah, that'll be gross.
I don't know. Unless Ryan wants to give his opinion.
He'll just be screaming.
Well, with that in mind, we are getting closer to having a child. We're recording this on what is today? August 23rd?
Yes.
Your due date's September 3rd. So what is that, 10, 11 days?
It's 12 days.
You excited?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I want him out. I just don't want to get him out. Does that make sense?
Well, they have doctors that help.
Yeah, no, I know.
I mean, I'm not doing it.
The whole process sounds terrifing, but...
Yeah, I have no advice.
I know.
Bite your lip. I don't know.
Lots of drugs. Lots of drugs.
Yeah, that's a weird concept. There's a person in you right now.
Yeah.
And then he's going to be outside of you.
Yes.
And he has no memory of what it's like in you.
Do you?
I don't. No.
Okay, no, I don't either.
There were no cell phones. No, of course I don't. But it's just weird.
Yeah, no,
I don't remember that. You don't remember the first 3 years of your life.
Yeah, no, I know. It's very weird.
Why can't you remember more? Your memory should be better.
I don't know, but...
I can't even remember... I mean, what's your first memory?
My first memory, I was like a year and a half, I think. I was really young.
What was your memory?
We were driving to Sandbridge, Virginia. Mm-hmm. Just in the car. I remember driving in the car. My Uncle John was driving. My grandma was in the car, who weighs very heavy in this Chick-fil-A episode.
Okay. Which Uncle John?
Uncle John and Gotti.
Okay, you have two Uncle Johns.
I do have two Uncle Johns. And
different sides of the family.
Yes.
It wasn't like
oh yeah, that's a good point.
Your grandparents were like, his John. That's John
that's
number 2.
John. Yeah, and we were driving to the beach. So that's my first memory.
Wow,
What's
that's
yours?
a good one. My first memory is when my sister was born.
Okay, I remember very vividly when my brother was born, but that was like 2.5 years later.
Yeah, mine was then.
Yeah, because we had the exact
in the hospital
difference.
In the hospital, looking at Julie, my sister, through the glass with my dad, and then I remember that night. Was it that night? I don't know exactly the timeline, but I had a sleepover with my dad, and it was so much fun.
What does that mean?
We had a sleepover. It was guys' night.
Okay,
girls in the hospital, boys hitting the
like the sleepover mean like in the same room?
Yeah, like I slept in the bed with my dad.
Oh, because your mom wasn't there.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
I think that's what it was. Would that make sense? But now it's like would you leave your spouse?
Yeah, no, that's kind of. I would not be super pumped if you did that.
Was my dad leaving my mom
was
to have
it like your
to have a sleepover? No, it wasn't.
Well,
my
it's
uncle.
a different situation when you have a kid at home.
Yeah, that's true too. So maybe that's a fair point.
I still remember waking my other grandma
right,
up.
That's a fair. Sorry to interrupt, but that's a fair point. It couldn't be like, all right, Mike, we're going. Mom, your mom and we're going to go have your sister. There's a 20 for a pizza. Like it's
you're
right.
3.5.
Someone's got to take care of the kid, so that might make more sense.
No, I remember my parents leaving to have my brother, and my grandma coming in. My other grandma, my dad's side, coming in the house, and I saw it happen because my bedroom looked, and I wouldn't sleep with the door closed. Looked right at the front door.
Yeah,
down the stairs, and I went in. Like, I thought maybe I dreamt it, so I went to go wake my parents up, as I did every morning. And, by the way, order breakfast. You can still ask them. They bring this up every time we talk about it. I would walk into the room at, like, 6:45 and be like, I would like waffles and pancakes and a side of bacon every morning.
Yeah.
I would, like, literally order breakfast.
Tough lady.
But I walked in, and I was like, that's not my parents. Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. What's going on here? Time out, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
What is your thoughts on... I guess we got to get the logistics here. You've probably told me this, but this is a good place to iron them out.
Okay.
When we go to the hospital, you're not allowed to eat anything, right? You're done.
I think as soon as things start, like, doing things, I can't eat anything. I'm already stressed out about that.
Yeah.
Because I am somebody who has a high metabolism and gets hungry.
I'd like to do a food review from the hospital, but if you're in labor, it might be violently wrong on my end to ask for that.
I think you can eat something and review it later.
How are you with camera work? Well,
not good during.
So that might be like a selfie stick by myself kind of gimmick where I'm
in
like
the hallway
going down for a few.
Yeah, I've read a lot of things about women being super angry with their husbands, like eating a hamburger in front of them.
Yeah, well, that's
if the labor goes on for a long time, like it could be 2 days.
Like I even though like I gotta eat.
You have to,
yes. Like
we also have a bag of snacks packed for you.
Oh yeah. See, now the question is, can you get Uber Eats sent to the hospital?
I think you can have I think you can have things delivered to you.
Okay.
Like, we could ask somebody to bring you something.
But once I leave, I can't come back.
You can't leave.
And that's a COVID thing now. This is not a,
This is not
like how the hospital always was. Like, in the past, I could probably, if I had to leave, go leave.
Yes.
You know, if, like, feed Leon.
Yes, now if you leave, you cannot come back in.
That sucks. That just sucks.
Yeah, so that's like a big thing. People are stressed out about their pets because they want to like bring a blanket or something to get them used to it.
That's just weird. I mean, this is like the little, little things that make life harder because of COVID.
Yeah.
You know, I understand it.
Our parents can't see them in the hospital.
Yeah. Which in the long run, who cares?
Yeah, it's fine.
They're going to see them enough. But just that kind of stuff.
And I think the cafeteria is not open. I think like you can order food like when I order food.
What do you mean? I just can't go down and get the turkey. I
don't know about
turkey
that.
Club.
I think they said the Starbucks is the only thing that's open.
So there is
a Starbucks.
That they have good breakfast.
Yeah, I think that's like truly the only thing that's open.
The whole thing was weird. But
hey, other people are doing it, so we'll do it too.
We'll do it too. We'll do a good job. I just thought a food review from the hospital could be slightly entertaining for our audience.
Part of that is that we didn't. I mean, you typically do the hospital tour.
And
we did not get to do that. We basically did a virtual tour, and it was like, this is what your room will look like. Yeah. Okay, go down the hall, take the elevator.
Oh, do you remember?
Is that
the real? Yeah. Wait, those are the real instructions?
Yeah, you pass that lobby that looks like it's like JetBlue's like Sky Lounge, and then you take the elevator up to the 3rd floor, and then you check in there.
That is kind of interesting too. It's like, this is all the normal stuff that you do as first-time parents going to these classes. We just never did. We did them online, but it's not the same.
Yeah, no, it is.
It's harder. It's easier to get distracted when you're on a Zoom call.
I felt pretty good about that. I felt the class was pretty good. I actually preferred that we did it there versus like sitting in like a classroom at the hospital, to be honest.
Oh, so did I.
Because it was way more comfortable, and like we got to stop and like eat and like relax a little bit. It was more comfortable, but definitely the hospital tour part was like, just because you're never gonna, the first time you see it is like, you're going in there.
Mm-hmm. Nah, it's gonna be punch in the face when you get in there.
Yeah.
I mean, I say this and it's like,
whatever. We won't know any different.
Well, yes. It's just, we're not the first people and the last people to have a kid, so it's, we're not unique in that sense. But then for you, every time it's an individual experience, so you understand the excitement.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. Lots of COVID tests and masks.
Yes.
So.
COVID tests and masks. Taking your temperature like it was you're sick. A lot of temperature takes.
Taking your temperature like it's 2020.
Now at this point, though, Jess, that we're like at 10 days, and we just had a friend that had a due date. My friend's wife had a due date after yours, and she gave birth 2 days ago, or yesterday.
2 days ago.
2 days ago, yeah. So it's like, I'm just like, anytime you call me and we're not together, I'm just like, are we going? Are we going? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm just like ready to go.
I don't know. I'll let you know.
I guess what I'm trying to get at is now we're at this point where it's like, does it just happen? There's no gliding in. It just snapped.
I don't know.
Well, you should. You're smart.
I mean, it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be really, really late, and we're like 3 weeks away.
Yeah. But they wouldn't let it be more than a week, you were saying?
I don't think they'd let it go more than a week.
Yeah.
I don't want them to.
I don't either.
But I also don't want to be induced, because that sounds horrible.
What does that mean?
This might not be
not for the podcast.
Food talk.
Oh, back to the chicken. I've gotten too deep because now we're having a this is what makes a podcast. Just two people having a conversation about the Uber Eats delivery and
dilating
cervix. I got 8 inches. I see a head. I see. Is that a lot?
Yes.
I don't know. That seems like a night.
I think 10 centimeters is like the max.
Jess, I got to be honest. I've never delivered a kid before.
Okay.
I do cat deliveries.
Yeah. No, that's not happening. Oh, it'd be pretty easy if it did go that big.
God, if a cat pops out of you, I know who you banged.
Michael.
Jessica. All right, back to breakfast as I get totally derailed here. Do you have? So, what is your Chick-fil-A experience? You referenced your grandma just moments ago. Okay. What is your experience?
I have a pretty visceral Chick-fil-A series of memories, let's just say, because we basically did the same thing every year.
Yeah.
/ not at the same time every year. But anyway, Chick-fil-A reminds me of Black Friday.
Okay.
So we very often had Thanksgiving in Morgantown, West Virginia.
Okay.
And on Black Friday, we would go to the mall. It's like, I think it was the Mountaineer Mall was what it was called. There's a Morgantown Mall that was kind of scary. And then like the Mountaineer Mall, which was like the nicer mall. But
Country roads, take me home for some chicken. But not on Sunday.
Well, it was Friday, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, that's true.
So we did not have Chick-fil-A's growing up in Pittsburgh at all.
Yeah.
There is one now on the way to the mall right by the Trader Joe's.
Okay.
So this was a treat, and it was in the mall food court. I genuinely don't think we ever had anything but Chick-fil-A. Ever. From the mall food court. So we would go, we'd take my grandma, do the Black Friday shopping. So then my aunt would be there as well. It was a real clusterfuck in general, wrangling these people. I'm not going to get into that, but there's a lot of wrangling of personalities
Yes.
and keeping people apart and trying not to shoplift, and there was just a lot happening.
Sure.
But the one peace moment we all had was going to Chick-fil-A.
And what was your order? Just the
it was the same thing every time.
Classic
and
chicken.
here's the problem. I did some research today.
Uh-oh.
What we ordered, and this is for like at least like between 5 and 10 years, we would always order the same thing.
Uh-oh.
There's no history of it on the internet.
Wait.
Except for one article in 1994 that I found.
Wait, I'm confused.
The meal I ordered doesn't exist.
What did you get?
Okay, so I got these things, and I want to say they were
chicken.
I want to say they were called Garden Delights or something like that. Okay.
Did
you ever see it's chicken on a stick? It was like a chicken tenderloin grilled and shoved on a skewer.
Like a kebab?
Looked like a kebab, yes.
Okay.
It was just their grilled chicken on a kebab. It was wrapped in aluminum foil, and I would get 3 of them. Then I would get all of the sauces, which was barbecue, honey mustard, and Polynesian sauce.
Yeah.
And I would just go through like one bite, one dip. I was real systematic eaters, you know.
As you still are with,
I know.
With ice cream.
And hummus. Yeah, and I have a perfectly level top.
It's okay to have a dip.
No, it is not.
That's why. Well, what's it called? It's not called.
It's called ice cream.
It's called dip.
And then for the side dish, the world's greatest carrot salad. It would be this shredded carrot salad with pineapple and raisins, and it is so delicious. I looked up a recipe of it, and it is so bad for you.
So you went to Chick-fil-A, and your side dish was what?
Mike, this is like a famous side dish.
Wait, say it again.
Carrot salad.
You got a carrot salad at Chick-fil-A?
Yes. That was just a side dish with it.
Carrots?
Yes.
And it was bad for you?
It is horrible for
How
you.
is that so bad for you? What is it soaked in?
Sugar and mayonnaise.
Oh.
Is
that still available?
No, it's not. It is so good.
Oh. That looks awful.
It's so good.
No.
I can't tell you how good that is.
I won't allow it. Not in this house.
It's carrots, pineapple, raisins, mayonnaise, sugar, and lemon juice.
Oh my god.
It's a copycat recipe. It's so good.
Oh god, that looks pitiful.
I would get that every time we went to Chick-fil-A. I mean, that was a true treat.
That's bizarre.
But I just can't find these skewers. There's a 1994 article that said that they were debuting their new lighter fare chicken skewers, and they called them trendy chicken skewers in the article.
You were trendy. How old were you here?
Oh, I mean, probably like 1995 to like 2003 or something like that. So
11 to 17?
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah.
See, I never even heard about Chick-fil-A until after college. But I don't think it was because in New York it wasn't a thing.
No, I looked up the history.
You're closer in Pittsburgh. When you're in West Virginia, that makes sense. I heard about Chick-fil-A on a job interview.
So I did do like a little research, but I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of research out there. Like too much to like.
When was Chick-fil-A debuted?
1967.
Wow, it's that old. Where did it start?
In Georgia, in Hapeville. Georgia?
Well, we have a good Chick-fil-A story.
Yes.
From Florida.
But it doesn't sound like it really went widespread to like 1995-ish.
Okay.
Was like the
first time.
1986 it started to spread, and then like it went big when they did that like eat more chicken cows.
Oh right, don't eat cow or whatever.
Yeah, the cow.
I didn't understand that commercial, by the way, until like 2 years ago. Then I got it. I was like, oh, don't eat meat.
When they opened one in Pittsburgh, there was a cow that would like dance in front of it.
Yeah,
and with like a sign.
It's a great idea for marketing. The first time, do you consider chicken a meat?
Yes, I do, Mike.
But if I say like, do you eat meat?
Yes, of course.
Okay, dumb.
Yes. No,
people consider red meat first before like.
I don't think so.
You don't like.
I'm confused when people say. I'll be honest with you. This one thing does confuse me.
I know what
when people say they're vegetarian but they eat fish. I'm like,
right. Well, they don't eat land animals.
Yeah, but it's an animal.
But it's from the sea.
I don't know.
They're not all there.
I'm a biologist. It's definitely an animal.
Yeah, I think it's a little different if you're like this.
Well, I think you say you're a that's the thing. If you say you're a pescatarian, then I don't think you're a vegetarian who eats meat. That always confuses me. But
I like everything, but eggs.
Okay, continue.
See, that's why I would like a vegan breakfast.
I know. Okay, continue.
Okay, so let me tell you about the first time I heard about Chick-fil-A.
I don't know this.
So I had graduated Syracuse University in 2006. I had not had Chick-fil-A at this point. I don't even know if I've heard about it. And I had a job interview for CSTV.
Okay.
It was College Sports TV.
It sounds riveting. What?
And, well, first, this is when I graduated Syracuse, and I got a job interview in this place, and it was on the Hudson River. Like, I'm from
that water over there?
It was by, like, the Chelsea Piers area. And I went in there. It was to be, like, an editor for sports games.
Okay.
You went in, but it was, like, a good foot in the door at a college station to get on the air or whatever. But it was a really cool spot. It had, like, basketball courts. It was, like, a nice, modern 2006. The economy didn't go to shit quite yet.
Okay.
Place for, like, if that was my first job and I was making, it probably would have paid. I'm not going to say it out loud because it'll piss you off.
What do you mean?
Because it'll be so even to what I make now.
Oh, God, okay.
It would have been a low entry job, but it would have been a good first job. And I remember the girl that interviewed me, she was from Atlanta.
Okay.
And I don't know how the conversation came up, probably because I just like food more than sports to begin with. And she's like, "Oh, I miss what do you miss the most about living in New York? Maybe something along those lines." And she goes, "Chick-fil-A. You got to go to Chick-fil-A."
Living in Atlanta?
Yeah. You're in New York now. What do you miss most about living in the Atlanta area? She goes, "Oh, Chick-fil-A. I miss Chick-fil-A the most. Definitely miss Chick-fil-A." And that resonated with me because I never heard about Chick-fil-A. And I remember her specifically talking about it and being like, "What is this Chick-fil-A?" I don't remember the first time I had Chick-fil-A. I would have to guess it would probably be in Charlottesville doing something for, like, going in there because Leon's like, my friend's like, you got to try this. That would be my guess because I don't think the first time I had it was with you in our drive that we'll talk about. But I had to have had it before that.
Okay. Yeah, there's apparently the biggest one in the world is in New York City. I have no idea where it is.
Yeah. Which is so funny to me, too, how that becomes like a tourist trap because it's just in New York.
And I drove through Times Square twice on Friday.
I've seen the New York one before.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, with this, like...
I've seen the New York one
with nobody
before.
really driving in New York, like, I had to go to see a client on Friday, and man, they take you the weirdest ways that you never drive normally. Like, you take like the highways on the side of the island. This is like, we're going right through. Like,
right
I literally drove down Broadway.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Hamilton, everything. There's no traffic.
That's crazy.
It's bizarre. Yeah, no, the whole thing is very strange. I think in general, chicken has a really wide range.
In what sense?
The great chicken is amazing.
Yeah.
And bad chicken is the worst.
Yeah.
It has such a low
more than the other
low floor and a high ceiling.
Welcome back to Chicken Analyst with Jesse B. Let's now go down to the field where Jess is clucking along.
Jesus. No, I
know what you're saying. I agree with that.
Like, it can be so good. Like, look at the Popeye's chicken sandwich. Like, people lose their minds over that shit. But then you can go to, like, a buffet or have, like, a shitty grilled chicken sandwich, and it's like, ugh. It's so gross.
Our cat loses his fucking mind over a rotisserie chicken.
Rotisserie chicken is the shit.
Like, if we were to get a rotisserie chicken from the supermarket, which we've all had, you know what it is. The guy fucking loses his mind.
And
he turns into, like, this cute little guy into, like, give me the chicken. Like, he loves a rotisserie chicken.
Rightly so.
Yeah, like crazy.
But, like, good, like, great chicken is so good.
I'd love to see we open the rotisserie chicken and we'll give him little nibbles. Just open up the thing.
Like, if you just let him have that.
Just say, Leon, enjoy your fucking stuff. Could he eat the whole carcass?
Bones and all?
No, okay, maybe not the bones and all. But
would he lick it clean?
Would he, like, it would be bone clean? Like ugh.
Well, when we brought him home inside, we took him inside because he was an outdoor woods kitty. His first nap was in a rotisserie chicken container that my mom gave him.
Maybe
so maybe
that's a good point.
maybe he's having some memories of it.
Oh.
He's like, oh, it smells like herbs and spices.
Oh yeah. Oh, is this a lemon pepper?
Yeah, no, we have a picture of him.
Is that garlic parmesan?
So cute.
I know he does love it. But to play to your point about chicken, you could get it from all over the spectrum. I always say if you got a good chicken on the bone from a nice restaurant.
I know you do love that.
Yeah, the problem is, this is what makes chicken interesting, too. You go to a good restaurant, and they have the menu, right? And you got, steak, fish, pasta with sausage.
How do you pick the chicken over the sea bass and the T-bone?
That's the point.
I know, I get it.
Even though the chicken might be better, to pick an item that you're probably not making as much at your house is always difficult.
No, I know.
So I think the chicken, I don't know. It's a strange animal. What came first, the chicken or the fillet? I don't know.
Well, I do have to say, I mentioned to you this earlier. I think second only to Taco Bell, that Chick-fil-A has the biggest cult following of any fast food restaurant. Like I said, I have 2 girlfriends who are from the South, both from North Carolina, and they live in this area.
Right.
And they are obsessed with it. It's there's a real cult following. The instructions I got from my friend about how to order and what to order, it has that Taco Bell-esque flavor. People love Wendy's, people love McDonald's. But maybe because this is more niche and it's more, or niche, whatever you say.
I say niche.
I say both. I went with niche and then I was like, let's go back. And the menu's smaller and you can get really specific. I did see there was a hidden menu, but I was like, you know what? We're not going to go there because I do think we should do a Chick-fil-A month at some point.
So you saw the hidden menu?
I know that there is one.
You don't know what's on it?
No, because I was looking at some history stuff and I saw that there was a hidden menu.
Who was I talking to and they were talking about a hidden menu? I think I did an interview with somebody and they mentioned a hidden menu. Why can't I remember?
Starbucks has a hidden menu. That's kind of the only one I really know.
What is the hidden menu? It's just
if you combine these things, you make this thing.
Oh, okay. So it's not like a separate piece of item.
No.
It's not like you go to Chick-fil-A and they're like, oh, it looks like you're getting the cod.
No, but if you go to Starbucks and you're like, I want the unicorn frappuccino, they know what that is, but it's not on the menu.
That's so cool. I love something like that. Who was I talking to? I did an interview.
I don't know.
So many of these fucking things. Who did I talk to? I can't remember. Maybe it'll come to me later.
But I do think it would be a good to do, even though the menu isn't extensive, just to do a week of it. You
mean a month of it?
A month of it, sorry. But to talk to people, like how you talked to that one guy who was...
Taco Bell.
Yeah, really into Taco Bell.
Andrew Bork.
Yes, Andrew Bork, yes. To, talk to somebody or a couple people...
that can give you that kind of insight on it.
Yeah, exactly. My friend Sarah was like... Okay, my husband orders this, but he asked him to throw an egg on it. There's not normally an egg on it, but it turns it into a breakfast sandwich. Right. You can order it for breakfast if you do that. That kind of a thing.
Right.
Because it's a pretty streamlined menu if you take a look at it.
Yeah. No, it is. Which I learned about from the pickup, which was a disaster.
Which I actually know nothing about.
I haven't said much of it. It was awful.
Because you were home very late. It
took hours.
If we were waiting for dinner, I'd be so pissed.
Yeah, I'd be pissed too.
But you were I was at a workout class, you were doing your thing. You got home 90 minutes plus later?
Yeah, it was a disaster. So I'll tell the story picking this thing up. The Chick-fil-A is about 18 minutes away, and there's 2 of them. There's one in Teterboro, and then there's one in the Willowbrook Mall. So you said your friend would go to the Willowbrook Mall. And
yes.
I saw it, and the Willowbrook Mall was 16 minutes, and the Teterboro location was 18. And I thought to myself, being the smart guy that I am, oh, you know what? I'll go to the one that's 18 minutes away, but it's not in a mall. That way I don't have to deal with, it's 2 less minutes, but you know how long it takes to go into a mall and in a food court.
Yeah, that's a nightmare.
I'm like, that's going to take forever. So in my head, I was like, I've been to this Chick-fil-A. Here's how stupid I am. This was a different mall altogether. This is the mall out in Livingston, and it was a Popeyes.
Okay.
So, not only did I have the wrong mall, I had the wrong restaurant.
And I hate going to the mall, but the Willowbrook Mall is the closest mall to our house.
Yeah.
So if I have to, return something or buy something,
That
that's where I
Livingston
go.
Mall is where I went.
Okay, that is a very nice mall. But I was like, I don't remember seeing a Chick-fil-A in there, but okay.
And this is where I'm so stupid is I went out to that mall. It was a Popeyes. And it was it was right when that spicy chicken sandwich just came out.
I do remember you complaining about that.
So, in retrospect, if now knowing that, I would have declined that order in a second. I would never have taken it. So, point is, wrong location. But anyway, so I drive out to this Teterboro location. And I notice right away this is going to be a problem. Because there's nobody there. Nobody there. So I park to the side of the restaurant. It's a very modern looking Chick-fil-A. And there's a guy putting cones out for the drive-thru. And I'm like, are you guys open? He goes, our drive-thru only opens at 11. Fuck. This is what, 9:30, 9:40? So I put the GPS in now for the other location. And at this point I remember, oh my God, this is not the mall I'm thinking about. This is the Willowbrook Mall. And the Chick-fil-A, it's not even in the mall. This mall has a lot of outside restaurants. There's
we pick up a lot of food in this general direction.
Yeah, there's a Shake Shack. There's what's that Mediterranean place?
Cava.
There's a Cava. So it's just it's a mall, but it's got food courts around it, high-end looking food courts. But what that does mean is when I got there another 20 minutes later, so we're now at 40, 45 minutes of time, I get to this other location, they don't have a drive-thru. And I pull up to the front, and I get to the sign where it says, DoorDash drivers, stop here.
That bites in today's day and age to not have a drive-thru.
So
and have a freestanding restaurant.
So I get there, and then I walk into the restaurant because I see two people, and I go, do I order? Can I order here, or do I have to download the app? She goes, you have to download the app and order. So then I come outside, and some woman's there who's a DoorDash driver, and she's asking me questions. Can you go in? I'm with DoorDash. And I was about to tell her about my podcast. She's another driver, let me tell them. And then she starts bitching, who the hell would want Chick-fil-A for breakfast? I was like, lady, I don't know. If you even knew what the fuck I was doing right now. So I download the app on my phone, put in all the information. I have to pee so badly because I've had so much coffee. So I'm just putting in the digits, finally get it right. And then it goes to a point where it says, put in the number space that you're in. And I was like, oh, man, that sucks. This app, it thinks I have a number here. But this Chick-fil-A is so small, I'm the only person here. There's no numbers. I'll just put in number 1, and they'll just come out to me because this must be a mistake at the restaurant.
Oh, God, this is stressing me out. So I know it happened yesterday.
So then I put in the number, and I'm just kind of waiting around. Meanwhile, there's a guy painting the railing. So, getting up and down the steps is a pain in the ass. And I'm just kind of walking back and forth, killing time. And then I look across the street, and I see about 15 cars. And I'm like, oh, no. These people are for Chick-fil-A. Oh, shit. So I walk across the street, and I see the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Packed with people picking up breakfast.
So there were parking spaces?
There were parking spaces.
Ew.
Across the street was for the DoorDash driver. I didn't know there was a space. So, of course, I put in number 1. Somebody's in my space.
Oh, God. It goes to the old Taco Bell thing. They know the secret handshake. You don't know it.
I didn't know. I thought you just showed up and you put in an order. And remember, the first place I went to was drive-thru. So I thought this one you walk in. So then a woman comes out and she's got a basket. I'm saying a bin of orders. And I told her, I'm like, hey, I'm sorry. I didn't know the procedures, but there's somebody in number 1. But if you get the order from Mike Bisceglia, drop it off to me. Luckily, number 1 got their food, left.
And you could pull into
number 1. Pulled into the space, waited for her to do the next batch of rounds. I thought there was nobody there. Who the fuck wants Chick-fil-A in the middle of nowhere, New Jersey? Jess, it was slammed.
Michael.
Did we even say what we got yet?
No. This is a melting pot area, and it is a connection to these people.
I get that.
My friends are obsessed.
Dude, the parking lot did not look like it was people from New Jersey. If you know what I mean. It looked like...
Hi, y'all.
It was a different vibe in the parking lot. Now, the DoorDash driver, she was like, why the fuck would anybody want this shit for breakfast? But the stress, the relief I got when I pulled into the first spot, at least I could just go... Okay.
I'm really glad I didn't know any of this.
This was just a pickup, and I'll reveal the food. Chicken Littles, hash browns, and a coffee. Chicken Littles are 4 mini chicken nuggets in a biscuit, side of hash browns, and a coffee. It was a stressful pickup, Jess.
It sounds horrible.
And then I had to drive home another 20 minutes.
I know. Which this actually might impact my score a little bit.
So that's what happened. So I didn't tell you any of this. So this wasn't your typical pickup. I mean, I went to the wrong location, drove to a new place, went to the restaurant, parked in the wrong place, downloaded the app, put in the information, then realized I was not in the right spot, waited for a wave of food to come, moved over. And you know what really confused me and now made more sense? I was like, why is it taking so long for her to make my little sandwich? I'm like, there's nobody here.
Working?
No, I thought I was the only one to put an order in. Then I realized there were 20 other people.
Okay. Yeah, so normally when I do a pickup, I have to say this is in COVID's time situation, I always check to see if there's an app. But I will be honest with you, I don't think I would have done that with Chick-fil-A.
It never crossed my mind.
Because I would have assumed that it had a drive-thru.
Yeah,
that's why.
And this place didn't have a drive-thru.
But I did tell you the day before. I said, I think there's a reason Sarah goes to Willowbrook Mall.
Yes, you did.
And I said, I want to say it's because they have breakfast, and they're the only one around here who has breakfast, but I don't remember completely, because this was an apropos of the podcast conversation. And I was right. It is the one with breakfast.
No, you were right. But the other thing is, so I've done a lot of Uber Eats orders lately, Jesse, and there'll be places that have drive-thrus, but you can still go into it. Like, for example, I did a pickup today. I went into a Wendy's. You could go in. This Chick-fil-A didn't allow. They did not allow you to go in.
I mean, you know better than me, but I feel like a lot of restaurant or fast food chains that I've driven by are a no-go on people going in.
No, they've been a go. They're go now. You can go in, but most people don't. You can't eat in there.
Well, you can just go in. Like all the tables are like,
they're all blocked off. They're barricaded. Okay. You can't use the bathrooms. But the Chick-fil-A. The other thing that I thought was interesting with this is because there were 20 people, she would come out with the bins at a time. So it wasn't like you had to wait for every order. Yeah. So if, let's say, for example, you're the first order and then you're the last order, your food's going to be colder. Like if you're the first person and you have to wait for that last person because she's bringing the food out to 10 cars at once.
Was it only one person running the food?
It was one person lady? Running it. Yep. Okay. There was one young lady running the food.
That sucks.
She had a bin that just legit had 10 to 15 bags.
By the same token, probably the nicest customer service experience you're going to get with nice Southern people coming to eat your food.
No, that's true. So that was the experience of picking it up. Now, before we get to the food review, and I'll stop yapping because I feel like I've been talking too much, let's talk about the first time you and I had Chick-fil-A together.
Okay. You tell the story.
Do you remember? No, yeah. I want you to tell the story.
I do remember. We were going to Florida.
And we lived in Virginia.
You had some type of work obligation per every inconvenience we've ever had with any vacation we've ever taken.
Yep.
It started then, and that was our first trip together, and continues to this day. Yep. And we were going to go to Longboat Key, where we still actually often vacation.
For your mom's
not
50th
this year.
birthday
For
party.
my mom's 50th.
Which is so weird now because I'm like, your mom was only 13 years older than I am now.
Yes, and I was in the second year of my PhD.
Sadie wasn't even born.
That's our niece. Ryan will be like 5 when we're that old.
No, Ryan will be 13.
Yes, and 15. When I'm that old. Anyway,
back to the ball game, as Spitz would say.
Well, I don't know. It depends on when he's born. We might have the same birthday, too.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah. If he's one day late, he'll be born on my birthday.
I can't wait for your birthday.
Anyway, so we were, for whatever reason, Charlottesville has the world's tiniest airport. It is a gift shop and 5 gates.
Gift shop.
And I've definitely had the same person check me in, BTSA, and at the gate. I'm not even kidding. So we couldn't get a flight from Charlottesville down to either Sarasota or Tampa. So we drove to Atlanta. And I don't know how far we should go into this story, but we drove down to Atlanta and we stopped, and we left late because you had some game basketball. It was March. Basketball, right?
It was Virginia Wake Forest.
Okay. Well,
I remember that, which is odd.
So, so that happened, and we just hopped in the car, and we're driving down to Atlanta.
Yep.
We stopped at Chick-fil-A. It was like a Chick-fil-A gas station?
No, it was a Chick-fil-A, and then we got gas right after. And we drove down the street to get gas.
And what did we order?
I think we just got your classic sandwiches and waffle fries.
Okay, I'm thinking I got like a tender situation probably.
Oh, I don't know.
Or like a nugget.
I know what
maybe.
I got. So I'll take over from here. So I had to go.
Do you remember which car we were driving?
My wife's 2007 Toyota RAV4, which if you want to hear the story about how I totaled it and had one of the worst nights ever, which kicked off 2020 in fashion, head over to the Mike Delivers Patreon page, put us a nice donation, and you can find out about how I fucking fucked up. I love you too.
I didn't say anything.
I know. That was in my in my voice in my head. So we picked up the food from Chick-fil-A, got it, drove down the street in you're on the side of the road. So you got your fast food place, your gas station, paint the picture for you, which I'm sure everybody listening to this has done 100 times. So I go to pump the gas, and I go out, put in the credit card, pump the gas, hit the lever, boom. I go back into the car for whatever reason to tell you something, and you start eating my waffle fries to sneak to make sure that you could have more of your waffle fries. And I knew at that point I was going to do a podcast with you.
I was on a
End of that, I loved you.
I was on a real healthy living kick, and I don't think I'd had a fry in 3 years.
I love
probably.
the sneaky factor in you too. It's a little bit, you see, like you're not a sneaky, devious person, but every so often we'll get it out of you. And I like it. I think it's
oh yeah, no.
I think it's sexy.
I think, do you know really where it lies? It's with French fries.
Yeah. You
can ask people I've worked with before. Like, it's like that at Friends when Joey Tribbiani doesn't let anybody eat his fries. Like, if somebody goes to the restroom, I'm like 100% eating their fries.
Oh, you're stealing them. Oh, you're taking them.
But I think really all of my deviousness comes with just French fries.
Right, not onion rings.
No. That
not a beef stroganoff.
And it's even, I mean, it's
tuna salmon roll.
I might inappropriately allocate the salmon because
yes.
I'm really craving salmon, raw salmon. Oh boy,
coming soon to a Jessie body.
Yeah.
So that was the first time we had Chick-fil-A together.
But didn't you say that's when you decided you liked me?
Yeah, I thought you were kind of cool. You're like, I think maybe the love.
Maybe the love.
Maybe love. I remember the first time I loved you. I'm not going to go on that.
Okay, all right. But then we ended up missing our flight because it snowed like 6 inches for the first time in Atlanta in like 30 years.
But we had to rent a car because we couldn't just continue to drive. First of all, because
16 hours.
Well, because coming back,
we had a flight back.
Which we didn't want to lose. So it was better to park the car, get the rental, drive to Florida, and then fly back because we could save the time.
And I was not old enough to rent a car.
So I had to rent the car under my name with my credit card, which God knows what it looked like at that time.
That was before I got you in order.
So what I remember too about that is we finally made it to Florida, and it was all about seeing Pirates spring training, which now it's like, wow. I mean, oh my God. I think the Pirates are like 4-20. Like the worst team.
They probably were then too.
So we have to take. It's crazy. I think like Garrett Cole was like in AAA then. It's crazy. So we get there and like your dad was like, "We gotta see this. You're coming. We came to Florida. You're gonna see the Pirates." So we got there and watched the 9th inning of the Pirates spring training game, and that was it.
Did I even go?
Yeah,
I don't even know if I remember that.
Yes, you. Sorry, we went all that way to watch one inning of Pirate baseball.
We've gone a lot of years, and it's usually very fun. That was what we
it's the best. It's the best, but it was just the circumstance.
And my brother was deathly ill, and then I got deathly ill.
And the other favorite part about that trip, too, was... So I had dated a girl in college. I was dated. It was like 3 months. Who was a pathological liar. So she made up having siblings. Like, she made up having brothers.
Which is clinically insane, right?
Yes.
That doesn't seem okay.
Yes. She made up a lot of things. She made up having 2 brothers that were in tennis camp in Florida. And the reason they weren't around because they were tennis stars.
Which is funny because we were actually staying at a tennis resort. Your brain must have been really going on this story.
So then so you and I are what, like, when's your mom's birthday? March.
We've been dating for like
October, February, March, April. So this was like, and I knew you had a brother, but I was like, that could be your cousin. I don't know. I don't know if this is what girls do. This is what girls do.
Yeah.
Girls that like me and want to get in my pants, they make up brothers. So then we get there, and you're like, oh, my brother's upstairs. He's too sick to come down. And I'm like, oh my God, she's got her parents in on it. This is a whole scheme. Her brother's not real. I thought he was real, but there was a second in my brain where it was like, maybe he's false too.
Well, he ended up going to the hospital like twice on the trip. Like he was like really sick. They
didn't
really
go to the hospital when we were there.
No, he had gone before.
But then I was like, maybe this is what girls do. They make up brothers.
No, that's insane.
Her parents seem normal. They would fake that.
So he was in like this attic room of this tennis club.
It was like a loft.
Yes, yeah. So we really could not have seen him. And then he did. Yeah. He emerged from the dead after that, and now you know him very well. It's been a long time.
I love your brother. He's one of my favorite people.
But yeah, you were getting squirrely about it, and I'm like, I don't know, like they just don't want you to get sick, and then I ended up getting it anyway.
I know. It's just so funny. I remember that. And your brother watched that NASCAR movie, Ricky Bobby.
Oh yeah. Talladega Nights.
So that's the story of Chick-fil-A.
Yes, that was our first / our last ? Chick-fil-A. Have we had it together since?
Silence. I don't think so. I think that was it. All right, Jess, let's get to the good stuff, as you like to call it. The food review time. Chick-fil-A. That was dramatic pause.
Oh, okay. You definitely didn't forget what the restaurant was.
Definitely didn't forget.
Okay, cool.
Chick-fil-A, Chicken Littles, with a side of little tater tots and a coffee. Do we judge the coffee? No, we don't.
I didn't get to try it, so I don't know.
Yeah, we don't.
How was it?
It was good.
Okay.
It was good. It was just coffee. I mean, but I'm not a picky coffee drinker, so it's not fair for me to... That's 2 for 2. Behind the records. It's fine. Whatever. I don't give a shit. It's fine. You're adorable. I love your face. I love your style.
Thank you.
But more than any of that, I love your son. Okay, here we go. All right, Chick-fil-A. 3 categories. Taste, heat factor, takeout, presentation. Chicken Littles, which are basically little mini chicken nuggets from Chick-fil-A, in a mini biscuit with a side of tater tots. We had recommendations on the sauces to get. It would only allow me to get 3. For some reason, I only got 2. Probably fucked it up because I'm a moron. Wanted to get honey, the Chick-fil-A sauce, and what was the other one? The Zazarans?
The Polynesian?
The Polynesian. We got the Polynesian, and we got the Chick-fil-A sauce. The Chick-fil-A sauce was the best sauce we've had on Mike the
Yeah, you were into that sauce.
I was like, if nobody's around, that sauce and I would be making more sauce. Okay? It was that good.
I have not seen you respond to a condiment like that probably ever.
Maybe. That was my favorite condiment I've ever had.
I know, you don't really like condiments.
I'm picky about condiments.
You're not that into them. I love a condiment.
That was a great condiment. Okay, so here we go. We'll combine the 2. So, the Chicken Littles and the Tots, overall scoring 1. Okay?
I'm needing you to go first this time. Because I don't know what I'm going to say.
Takeout presentation. Home run. Knock this shit out of the fucking park. It was adorable. These teeny tiny red boxes that one of them had the little Chicken Littles in them. The other box had the tater tots in them. The two boxes combined were 933 calories.
It's so small.
There's not that much food in that. I don't know how that's possible. I really don't. That's for another discussion. But takeout presentation, cute looking little red boxes, so sweet and tiny, did their purpose. I loved it. Takeout presentation at 9.
I was both charmed and alarmed at how small it was.
Charmed and alarmed. That's good marketing, Jess.
It was so cute.
So cute.
And they looked like they should have. They looked like the picture in the advertisement.
Yeah.
But I was like, wow, I feel like I could eat 4 times that volume for breakfast.
At least. Yeah, that's not filling. I'm sorry.
No.
Like, you need more than that. For that amount of calories.
I just need more volume in my stomach than that.
I guess if you put it all together, the little Chicken Littles make one sandwich. So it's little mini... I mean, I'm talking about mini biscuits.
That's what I was asking. Like,
how big would you say each of them were?
I don't... They were small.
Silver... What are those things
Yeah,
called?
I guess. Like, that's the second time I've used the term silver dollar today.
Silver dollar.
Oh, Jesus. How old am I?
I have a silver dollar reference. Not for the podcast.
Okay. Sounds like an after podcast discussion.
Yes. Not even for Patreon.
Okay.
You can text me if you want, if you have my number.
But it was really, really cute, and they looked great. It was the size has nothing to. It is what it is. Like I can't.
Don't take that out of context.
They can't lose
size. It is what it is.
I can't. Like I'm not.
You just gotta work with what you got.
Yes.
Okay, is that what you're saying?
I feel like maybe if I ate all 4 of them, it'd be so rich that like I wouldn't want any more food.
Yeah.
But I did not eat 4 of them.
No.
Neither of us did.
I ate them.
You didn't. You didn't eat the whole thing though.
I ate all the chicken.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
Okay, so we both had good scores there.
Yeah, it was really cute. The boxes were adorable. And I get the idea is like they'll keep them warm, but not like steam them. Hopefully,
heat factor. Tater tots sucked.
But did they keep them warm? Is the question.
No, the heat factor. They were not warm at all. Tater tots were cold. It's a combination of things. How long was I waiting? I had to drive home that took forever. So, I mean, those tater tots were probably in that box at least 20 minutes. Anywhere between 20 and 35 minutes.
You could imagine, though.
That's a long time for a tater tot. That they just
have boxes of tater tots, too, that are like under a heat lamp or something.
Jess, don't do that to your husband.
What?
They were fresh, damn it.
Okay.
That's true. They could have been. I mean,
because you think at 10:30 on a Saturday morning they're not firing through. And you know what? You have to think about this too. The whole not open on Sunday thing. This is your weekend day to get your fix. You're really bottlenecking yourself.
You think they get more business on Saturdays because they know you can't go there Sunday?
Of course.
I mean, they're losing money though. Like if they're open Sunday, they're going to make bank.
Because people here don't care about Sundays.
Yeah. No, I mean, people like food Monday through Sunday. Whatever. That, I don't want to get into
but
that.
But just from there's the scarcity to it.
Yeah. No, okay. All right, so your point about the tater tots is well taken. The Chicken Littles, heat factor, I would say, just not cold, not piping hot. But maybe because, like we said, with a tater tot, that's just like it's basically a French fry.
Yes, and they clearly in some scientific somebody needs to do their PhD thesis on the heat retention of potato products because it's not good.
So I went with a 5.5. I mean, the tater tots were terrible, but the other stuff was not bad, and I'll settle on a 5.5, 5.5.
Okay, so I thought the tater tots were not freezing. I guess maybe we had different experiences with that. I did, however, think they were tasty as hell.
Yes.
I did. But I'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
I didn't think the tater tots were super cold. I didn't think the biscuits were super cold. I thought the chicken was colder than I wanted it to be.
The chicken was colder than you wanted it to be. Okay.
So we did our superlatives on the 100th episode of things we wish we could have tried again. I want to go to Chick-fil-A and try those.
Yes.
Because I think...
Like, they're live from
Like, get them, they hand them to us in the car, we eat them on the drive home.
Yeah.
Because I think it would be a very different experience. So I'm
I do too.
I'm having, like... I think that's what's making my score hard.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the temperature is affecting everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 5 for the temperature.
Okay.
Or, what is it? Heat?
Heat. It's called heat factor.
Heat
Jess.
factor.
It's
Sorry.
got 104.
Am I
of these
new
things.
here? I don't know.
Welcome to the ball game. Okay, taste. I think because they were mini, they weren't as juicy, and I think that they were good. Don't get me wrong, they were good. If this was from IHOP, I'd be thrilled. But it's all perception, right? They were a little drier than I thought.
The whole thing? Okay.
The biscuit was great. It was flaky, buttery. You know, let me get a little... It's going to make my ass look a little bigger. The chicken was a little drier than I thought. I was stunned by that. The tater tot was great. They were just cold and mushy. But they're tater tots, and they were so cute and little.
Yeah, they really were tater tots, not hash browns.
They were great. They were great. They were just cold, and that affected it. I thought the chicken was drier than I thought it would be, man. Like the Popeyes chicken we bit into it was juicy. This had moments of dryness. But you're right, and you said this to me when we were eating it. Chick-fil-A's got a flavor.
Yes.
It's got a Chick-fil-A flavor. I like that flavor. I don't know if you do, which we'll find out. But I was disappointed in it. Not to the point where I didn't like it, but I was expecting more from it. I'm going to go with a 7, but I was expecting to leave there with an 8.5 or above.
And this is why I think we should do a Chick-fil-A month.
We can do that.
I think it needs a fair shake.
Here's the only problem with Chick-fil-A month.
Okay.
It might be tough next month.
I'm not saying next month. I'm just saying a month.
Okay. Because next month with the kid and that place...
I'm telling you, I think we should do caffeine month next month. I still think that is not a bad idea.
All right. Yeah. I like all caffeine. They're all going to get 10s. How was caffeine month? It was fucking great! Don't fucking ask me how caffeine month
It's the only way we'll get the podcast done.
Yeah.
Okay, so am I going now?
You're going now.
All right.
I just all of a sudden I didn't look to my left. It's all this sausage being ready to cook. It was alarming. I was like, it looks like little dicks.
Well, I can't start cooking with the podcast on. Okay, so...
I know.
Okay, so I thought the tater tots were great. If they were hot. The biscuit exceeded my expectations.
Yep.
For like a fast food biscuit. I love that Chick-fil-A flavor.
Yeah, okay,
that
good.
Is,
I didn't know that.
Because I have so many good memories of like
that's true.
Spending time in with my family there. And I love that flavor. And I have made at some point, and I made them for you at some point when we lived in Virginia, a Chick-fil-A like knockoff like recipe. You brine the chicken in pickle juice.
Ooh, fun.
I think that's part, and then the other part is there's powdered sugar in the batter. So it's not just flour, there's powdered sugar in there.
Okay.
That's very like loose. You can find all these different
now we need to get your friend on to talk about this.
Yeah, we need some guidance. So I thought though, now that we've tried a lot of freaking fast food, the chicken, even in the chicken and donut sandwich we had from KFC and from the Nashville chicken sandwich, I thought the quality was better than the nuggets. Just the actual piece of chicken.
Yes. And I took the chicken out to try it individually because I like to get that nuance.
Yes. I mean, it just felt like lower quality chicken. Like something you'd buy at the grocery store.
Yeah.
But the actual flavor is amazing. Just because I love that flavor.
Yeah.
I'm also going to give it a 7.
Okay. We don't usually have the same score.
No. I just think that the entire experience was a little kerfuffled, which kind of affected how it all turned out. Like, maybe if you'd gotten earlier, we'd eaten it in the car or whatever. Like,
Yes, but this is the Uber Eats
No,
experience.
I know, I get that.
And that's where we live.
I get that. But also, the piece of chicken... So, I'm comparing the quality of a nugget to these big-ass pieces of chicken on these sandwiches.
I see. So you're saying the nugget might just be...
It just is a smaller piece of meat. It gets cold faster. If something is smaller, it's going to get colder faster, right?
Yeah. No, I agree.
So I just feel like it was like we almost need to try the chicken sandwich to like compare that apples to apples.
Yeah. No, I agree. Will you do this for the Patreon page? I want to do this for Breakfast Month, and we had discussed this a month ago now, but I think we should do for the final Patreon episode.
Okay. Diner
pancakes, IHOP pancakes, blind taste test, which one I like.
Okay, we can do that.
And you don't even, like when I say blind, I want you to cover my eyes. I don't even know, for real. Because I think if you look at the pancake, you could get an idea.
Oh, okay. Not like unblindfold you and try one. Like just
right. Like literally, bite one, have a sip of water, try two. Which pancake?
It will be interesting. It will be interesting just to see what they look like as well. Like take a picture of them.
That'd be cheap too. I think like each of them would be.
Unless I'm glad we're not doing waffles because that's not
waffles,
a cheap situation.
Waffles we couldn't afford. That's a side note.
$18 later.
I just wanted to say that. Just so we get
okay, well, and that actually brings me to a point that I did not mention. So, we tried on the Patreon...
You wearing my sunglasses?
I am.
I kept thinking all of a sudden, I'm like...
They've been on there for like a while.
I was like, man, I like your sunglasses. I would dig a pair of those. I just got one. They're mine!
Yes, they've been on
Why did you put my sunglasses
I don't know, you were on the phone for like half an hour.
All right.
I like...
Cutie.
I was wondering about this. Okay. I don't love a dry sandwich. Right. And it is a dry sandwich. They give you the dipping sauce, cool, like that. Mm-hmm. But I wish... This comes round about. I wish they would put the sauce, like, on it, because I love when a biscuit gets, like let's say you put, like, honey and butter, and then, like, how it makes the biscuit soft? Yeah. Like, if you could order, like... I would like the Chicken Littles with the Chick-fil-a sauce on it.
We didn't talk about the Chick-fil-A sauce.
We did a little bit.
The Chick-fil-A sauce was so
We
good.
did talk about
Just
this.
not enough.
Okay.
Not enough. That fucking sauce.
No, it's like you met your, like, sauce soulmate.
Dude, I've been looking for my sauce soulmate for a while. And you know what?
You found it?
She was saucy.
But I wish you could put it on there because I like that whenever like the bread gets like sopped up and whatever it is.
So good.
But we tried the Nashville hot chicken lays. We're trying all those like
that's on the Patreon page.
City-based lays,
which you can see on video podcast.
I do have to say that Nashville hot chicken chips were way hot.
They didn't taste like... They were just hot. They didn't taste
I thought they tasted like chicken skin.
Yeah.
And I didn't think the other one tasted like
carnitas.
Tacos at all.
What should we do next month to finish it off? That's the question.
What do you mean?
We have one more week of breakfast.
Oh, what should we do next week?
We got one more week left. We got to figure it out. Let me know.
Okay. All right.
DM me, email me, MikeDeliversPod@gmail.com.
What are we missing?
We gotta do something eggy.
We gotta do something iconic. Yeah.
We gotta do something.
The McDonald's was perfect because that's very iconic. I feel like this is a little culty.
I'll come up with it.
Okay.
This brain will get thinking.
All right.
All right. Yum or yuck time here on the Mike Delivers podcast. Yum or yuck if you're new to the pod. Jess is gonna find an item on a menu. I'm gonna say which item on the menu I would yum, which I like. I yuck, which I dislike. What do you got today, Jesse? All
right. Well, we're just sticking with the breakfast theme. So we are going to go with Subway's breakfast wraps.
Yuck.
All of them? Okay, so bacon, egg, and cheese.
Okay.
Black Forest egg and cheese.
Black Forest ham or just the Black
Forest? No, it's it's actually it's a Black Forest cake. It's chocolate and cherries.
Okay.
Steak, egg, and cheese. And egg and cheese. This is like a real Sophie's Choice situation.
So, definitely not just egg and cheese. What was the first one?
Bacon, ham, steak.
I'll do the steak. Just out of default, I feel like I like steak the best. And I feel like it's Subway.
Subway steak? And they have like that little, they're the little wax paper packages. They like shake them out.
Yeah, I just feel like at Subway the steak would be so bad that it would take away from the nastiness of the other stuff.
Okay.
Smart.
All right. And then what's your yuck?
Oh, they're all yuck. All of them.
I would just do the egg and cheese. I actually like their like weird lavash wrap.
Can I see what these things look like? Oh.
Yeah, they look gross. They definitely look gross.
No, the steak looks good.
Yeah, I don't know. I always picture when people get the steak and they like shake it out of that container.
Best thing you ate this week.
Ooh.
Good options.
Yeah, pretty good options this
I know what
week.
I'm going with.
You're going with pizza?
Going pizza.
Yeah, I think I am too.
Blue Steel Pizza, new spot. Shout out. We'll tag you on Instagram. Your pizza rocked, man. And I've said this on the podcast. I think Detroit-style pizza is better than New York. It's a Detroit-style pizza place. They also had something that was really fun. It's called the Bloomfield Onion. Like the Bloomin' Onion from Outback. It's basically the Bloomin' Onion, but they're in Bloomfield. So they got the Bloomfield Onion. We got that, and we got this pepperoni and banana peppers Detroit-style pizza. Phenomenal.
Brand new Detroit-style pizza that opened in Bloomfield, which is technically the town we live in, but we live kind of far from the city center. So this was in the city center.
And I'm off from work next week. I want to have that one night.
Okay, we can
That's
do
a
that.
must. Unless you go into labor, then that's a different conversation.
I learned that Blue Steel is the type of pan that they cook Detroit-style pizzas in. So
Cool.
it's like a high-lipped like baking pan.
Love it.
So it was awesome. Yeah, it was really good.
This has been the Mike Delivers podcast with my co-host, superstar, and soon-to-be mom, Jess, who steals my waffle fries and stole my heart. You make sure if you hear this podcast, give a 5-star rating, bros. I appreciate that. Patreon, Mike Delivers. You can get that on your phone. You can also get that online. There are 40 other podcasts on there of this. So if you want more of us, you can get it there. Plus the video version of us. You can see my wife can get pregnant if you go back in the day.
No, not get pregnant.
No, there's the sex.
Okay.
No, there's no sex. You can just see her stomach build up. Is what I'm trying to say. No, we're not like kinky. Like it's our homemade porn tape.
Oh God,
where's your mind going, Jess? I mean, you're really a perv. You're really a perv. Anyway, shout out to you guys. So thanks for listening to the podcast. We'll see you next week. I appreciate it. All the support's great. This podcast has been a lot of fun, and it continues to grow. Record number of downloads. That's for real. Had a record high this past week, which was so exciting. So thank you. Download, share. Jess, let's eat dinner. I love you. Hook 'em horns, all right? This is your turn to say goodbye.
Oh, okay. I thought I
gotta say goodbye.
You clicked the button. I thought you hit it
no,
off.
I clicked it to click it off.
You what?
I clicked it to click it off. Just say goodbye.
Bye, Mike. Time to make dinner.
Bye, guys. Thanks again. I still didn't. Okay, click it.